History isn't just written in ink. It is forged in the sweat of quiet rooms, where destiny is whispered before it is shouted. Welcome, seeker of truth. Step inside this cramped, sun-drenched planning office in 1963 Washington, D.C., where the air is thick with the scent of roasted coffee and the heavy gravity of hope. Look closely. Under the golden spill of afternoon light, Martin Luther King Jr. and his brothers in arms lean over a weathered map, their hands tracing the path to a new America. Their charcoal gray suits are sharp, their white collars crisp against the weight of a movement. Notice the furrowed brows and the eyes burning with a vision that transcends the paper. Every finger pointing at the table is a promise made to the future. Behind them, chalk-scrawled boards and stacks of folders hum with the electric silence of a revolution coming into focus. We are standing in the sanctuary of the architects, witnessing the very moment the dream began to take flight.
The vigil has transformed into a quiet, focused industry. In the subterranean depths of a DC church basement, the air is thick with the scent of wet paint and the earthy dust of ancient bricks. When I look at this, I see a sanctuary of resolve. 6 volunteers sit hunched over a long wooden table, their hands steady as they trace the blue and red letters of freedom onto white placards. I see the soft texture of a cream-colored cardigan, the deep crimson of a sweater, and the concentrated furrow of a young man's brow as he guides his brush. Above them, bare bulbs and flickering oil lanterns cast long, dancing shadows against the raw masonry, illuminating the rhythmic labor of the 1963 March on Washington. To their right, rows of brown paper bags stand like small soldiers stuffed with apples for the hungry thousands soon to descend on the mall. This is the quiet architecture of justice. Before the dream was spoken, it was hand-painted in the dark. It is the sound of a brush scratching cardboard, a silent promise being given its first coat of ink.
The platform is behind us now, replaced by the rhythmic, percussive clatter of steel on tracks. When I look at this, I see a rolling sanctuary, a vessel of shared destiny hurtling through the Maryland dawn towards Washington. The morning sun spills through the glass, bathing the red plush seats in a warm, amber glow that softens the lines of fatigue on every face. Here, the air is thick with the scent of fresh newsprint and the low, resonant vibration of freedom songs. In the foreground, a man in a crisp gray suit and a tilted fedora leans towards his companion, his smile cutting through the gravity of their mission. Beside them, 2 white men in horn-rimmed glasses study the morning headlines, their destinies woven into the same fabric of justice. Behind them, the aisle becomes a choir. Women in checkered cotton and floral blouses hold their songbooks like sacred texts, their voices rising in a collective prayer for change. There is a weight in this cabin, not of burden, but of profound purpose. It is the sound of 1,000 dreams finally finding a single, unstoppable heartbeat. Leaving the dense press of the crowd behind, I find myself standing at the edge of a shimmering outdoor cathedral, a sun-drenched street that has transformed into a shallow silver sea. Beneath the humid August glare of 1963, I see 250,000 souls seeking a moment of respite. Men have rolled up their dark trousers, and women in floral tea blouses dip their weary feet into the Lincoln Memorial reflecting pool. The water is a cooling balm for feet that have marched miles for dignity. I see straw fedoras and crisp white Sunday shirts reflecting the harsh light, while the Washington Monument stands like a silent white sentinel in the distance, anchoring this landscape of hope.
There is a profound gentleness here, strangers sharing the same water, their eyes fixed on a horizon where Dr. King's "I Have a Dream" might finally take root. The air tastes of sweat and anticipation, humming with a quiet, collective heartbeat. It is a baptism of democracy, where the burning thirst for justice meets the cooling touch of peace.
As the echoes of the struggle harmonize into a single resonant chord, I find myself standing within this vast, open-air cathedral of democracy. When I look at this, I see Dr. King's profile etched against the white heat of history, his jaw set in a firm line of righteous conviction. He leans toward the cluster of cold, silver microphones, his mouth open as he exhales words that feel like living fire. His hands, steady and brown, grip the thin white pages of his soul's transcript. Behind him, the Lincoln Memorial rises like a marble mountain, the great emancipator sitting in quiet, shadowed vigil. The air is heavy with the scent of pressed wool and August humidity, a hazy light washing over a mosaic of humanity. I see men in crisp fedoras and women in floral Sunday dresses, their eyes luminous with a hunger for justice. Here, in 1963 Washington, D.C., the divide is bridged. Black and white hands are folded in a shared, silent prayer. It is the sound of a dream finally finding its breath, a heartbeat vibrating through the very stone of the nation.
High upon this wooden perch, a temporary cathedral of cedar and sweat, the world's witnesses scramble. Here, in the press gallery, the air is electric, thick with the scent of ink, old paper, and the rhythmic clack-whir of heavy film reels. Men in sharp charcoal suits and thick-rimmed glasses crouch low, their pencils dancing across yellowed pads as if trying to catch lightning. To the right, a cameraman adjusts his massive matte black lens. His jaw is set, his brow slick with the humid August heat. They aren't just filming a crowd, they are documenting the heartbeat of a nation. Below them, a sea of humanity stretches towards the Washington Monument, a mosaic of hope dressed in Sunday best. This is the final frame of our journey, the moment the dream was whispered into the ears of history. We see the frantic focus of the media, the heavy gear, and the weight of a turning point. It summarizes everything: the struggle, the unity, and the desperate need to tell the truth. History is not just a ghost of the past, it is the mirror in which we see our future. Thank you for walking through these echoes of 1963 with me. If these moments moved you, please like, subscribe, and share this story to keep the dream alive. What does freedom mean to you? Tell me in the comments below.